All right, I want to discuss this idea of opportunity cost and comparative advantage. It's a very important concept which demonstrates why trade amongst countries is beneficial to both countries. So I made up an example. Let's say the United States makes 10 containers of light bulbs per hour and they can make 10 containers of bottled water per hour. France makes 6 containers of light bulbs per hour and 8 containers of bottled water per hour. Now, some people would say, we'll stop right there. The United States has the absolute advantage in both of those products because they can make more of each of those products than France can. Therefore, there should be no trade existing between the two countries. But that is not the way it works. And as we learn in our economics textbook, the way to determine whether or not there should be trade between the countries and who should trade what depends on what their opportunity costs are for giving up the production of one and producing the other. And whoever has the lowest opportunity cost has a comparative advantage, and that is the item they should make. So let's look at this table I've made so we can get the answer to this one. The United States, there's their 10 light bulbs per hour, 10 bottles or containers of water per hour. France, 6 light bulbs per hour and 8 containers of water per hour. So to get the answer to this, I need to get the opportunity cost. How do I get the opportunity cost? It is equal to the other water divided by this one, the light bulbs, which is also 10 over 10, and gives me 1. That's the opportunity cost for making light bulbs. To make one light bulb, you give up 1 container of water. Okay, going over here, we get the opportunity cost, and it is equal to other over. So this is light bulbs divided by the water, and again it's 1. So if we make water, we're giving up light bulbs 1 per. Okay, doing the same thing for France, getting the opportunity cost for them to make light bulbs, what would they give up? And it would be other over 8 over 6, 1.33. If they made light bulbs instead of water, they would give up 1.33 containers of water for every container of light bulbs they made. And if we go to the opportunity cost the other way, the other item over, the other item is 6, which we divide by this item, which is 8, 12, we get 0.75. So the concept of specialization of trade and using comparative advantage basically says this. Since the United States has the lowest opportunity cost for making light bulbs, because they have 1 versus France's 1.33, they should specialize in making light bulbs. On the other hand, France has a opportunity cost of 0.75 to make water, and the United States has an opportunity cost of 1 to make water. Therefore, France has the comparative advantage. They have the lowest opportunity cost. Now let's put this to the test. Let's suppose that each country worked 2 hours on each item. 1 hour making one item, 1 hour making the other. Then the United States would make 10 light bulbs. They would also make 10 bottles of water. France would make 6 if they worked an hour and then switched and worked another hour on light bulbs. It would make 8. 10 plus 10 is 20, plus 14 makes 34 items. So if they worked independently of each other, they would make 34 items. So if this idea of comparative advantage is going to work, then there ought to be more items produced for the same amount of effort. So in the second example, let's have the United States work for 2 hours making light bulbs, and they would make 20. Let's have France work 2 hours making water, and they would make 16 containers. So they would make a total of 36 items. So you could see the idea of trading with each other according to their comparative advantages allows them in the same 2 hour period to make 36 items together. If they worked independently, they would make 34 items. So the two countries are better off. So mathematically, what we have here is proof that trade amongst countries is beneficial to both countries, assuming they specialize and work according to their comparative advantages. If you have any questions on this, you can come to the forum. Thanks.